thought they made big plays when they needed to. I thought in the first half we did a really good job on Padula and Couture, and at the end of the game we didn't. I thought those guys drove us. They made big plays when they needed to. Had been playing really good basketball. I thought our defense in the second half was not very good. And the one thing lately that we've got to clean up that we haven't done early in the season is that we're turning the ball over. You look at the way we played in the first half, look at what we did. We had forced 20 turnovers. We did some good things. I just didn't think that we did a great job defending. Like, this particular team hasn't been one of those groups that give up straight line drives, and guys were able to get to the rim all the way to the rim on us, and just not good enough. So needless to say, I'm not very happy with our turnovers and our defense, and those are things that we will continue to get better at. So questions?
When you look at the turnovers, were most of them you thought self-inflicted, or they obviously played pretty tough defense?
Yeah, I just, it's weird because we've been the entire season and taking care of the basketball, and then the last couple of games we haven't, and we got to get back to doing it. Where it's funny because we're still winning the turnover battle, but we were winning it by such a large margin right now. And then even though they turned it over 20 times, I didn't think we capitalized on all of those. I thought we gave it back a little bit.
Kevin, on the other side of the ball, what do you attribute the defensive difference in the second half? Was it a lack of intensity? Were they doing something different? Can you put your finger on it?
No, I didn't think we were aggressive as we were in the first half. You remember the first half. JT really got after Padula. We were that aggressive late in the second half with 2 minutes on the clock when it looked like that we had a chance to lose the game. We ramped it up. I thought early in the second half we just kind of let those guys get comfortable, and once they got comfortable, they started playing really good basketball. Those two guys were on the top of our scouting report, and we ended up with giving Couture 19. I know he got 8 of them from the free throw line, but they drove us. Like we shouldn't be getting beat off the dribble and those type of things. And that's the disappointment. And we haven't had many games where I could tell you that defensively we were not very good. But that particular half, the second half, we were not very good. And our defense has really saved us the entire year.
Were you happy with the shot selection for the most part from your team?
Sometimes, not all of them, but Chip, I can go to every game and say that. I give those guys a lot of freedom, so I'm not going to leave out there and say, man, we took so many bad shots. I don't look at it that way. I just thought, we scored 78 points. That's enough to win the game. But we gave up 84, and that's not good.
With three-point shooting, 0 for 8 from last time, what was the conversation between the Wake Forest game and this one to just keep going, be a little bit more selective like you were? You didn't make them last time, but it was only 8. So how did you approach this one where they finally started making threes for the second?
We just talked about just staying the course. We got in the gym, we shot. Here's where your shots can come from. It's weird because there's a couple games where we didn't make shots. We still got some good looks. We just didn't knock it down. Yeah. And I had a couple conversations with a couple guys to say, hey, man, we trust in you. We believe in you. You can take those shots. Be able to make those shots. And we made a few today. This team's probably, realistically a 6 to 7 3-point make team per game. I don't think we're at 10. When we make 10, that's good. But I think we're probably more of a 7, than anything.
What needs to change defensively for this team? Is it just the intensity, or is it just being able to get after the ball more?
Nothing. I mean, as I said previously, our defense has been who we are. I mean, if you pick up the stat sheet, you're going to say, damn, the coach is complaining about defense, and we forced the team into 20 turnovers. That doesn't happen many. But our calling card with this team has been, defense has saved us. At Notre Dame, we didn't score. Defense saved us. And the Wake Forest game, defense saved us. We've been really good at it. Tonight, if you say to me, what's your biggest complaint? I would say we turned it over and we didn't defend in the second half. Even in the first half, they only had 33 points. But this is not a team that's built in the way we played and give up 51 points in a half. This is not who we are,
You've mentioned how this team responds well after losses. Now that you get ready to go on the road to Virginia and Syracuse, what's going to be the importance of these upcoming games for your team?
I just think we gotta get back focused. I mean, that Wake Forest game was such an emotional game. It was a great game. It was a great comeback game. Not saying that's what led to Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech had dropped a game at Virginia, hadn't won a lot of road games, and I just thought down the stretch, those two guards were so desperate to get a win. They did exactly what they needed to do, and they played well down the stretch. I mean, really do. For us, you know, we got to get locked back in. We got to do a good job, and you know, the good thing about it is we got to get a little bit more stingy. We were bad defensively for a half, and I will nitpick that until we get better and just figure out how we continue to grow from that area.
Kevin, I know we look big picture a lot more than you do, but this team is one of the higher net opponents that you've played this season. How much of a missed opportunity is letting this one get away?
I think it's college basketball. Like if I, you know, unfortunately I don't get to play their number, I have to play their program. And it's a lot of good programs. They do a really good job, and you know, the net is so tricky. I was looking at it the other day. Some of the teams in the top 15 hadn't beat anybody. They just had played the quad fours and ran it up to 50 points a game. And so, like, I don't get a chance to look at the number. I gotta say, you know, here's what the opportunity. You're gonna look at the games all day today, and I guarantee you that some teams are gonna beat some people, and you're gonna be like, well, you know, it ain't the fact that Syracuse is gonna beat Miami. We won't talk about it. We will say the number of Syracuse versus the number of Miami, and it'll switch up before the entire year. So it is one of the better net teams, I think. But you know, it could be changed. They're higher than us, and so things change in a moment for this part of. I can't figure it out. You know, I was hoping, and I'm like you guys now. I was hoping after the Wake Forest game that we would get a big bump in the net. We didn't. Like, we did not, and they didn't get a big drop neither. They were higher than us, right? So I mean, this is a 6-point game, right? And Virginia Tech's higher than us in the net. We may go up a couple spots. And I'm serious. I mean, I don't know. Like, does anybody in here know how that works? And they could drop a little bit just because I don't know. I don't know. I'm talking too much about the net. But thank you for asking me that. But I don't get caught up in it. I can't figure it out. If I wear myself over a number, yes, it was a good opportunity. We've been a quad 2 win, I think. You know, the problem that I have right now is that figuring out how to get quad 1 opportunities. And it's so hard to get a quad 1 opportunity at home, because how many teams are going to actually come in here that's got 35 net or below? That's just hard, you know.
Kevin, you had done a good job holding Couture and Padula in check for most of that game, and then in the last 8 minutes they scored most of their baskets, the two of them. Did they adjust to your defense for all of those last 8 minutes, or?
Yeah, I don't want to take anything from those guys. I mean, I thought they got really aggressive and they made shots and all that. I thought we did a great job, to your point, for probably 32 minutes and 36 minutes, and those guys made stretches. And it'll bother me because those guys were at the top of the scout report. They made baskets at the end. Like, if you pick up the stat sheet, you look at Padula, 13 points, 8 turnovers, but he had 8 assists. So I consider that a good game other than turnovers. And Hunter Couture, who seems like he's been here forever, who's a really good basketball player, he made big shots down the stretch. And it's easier for me to say we didn't do a good job, but I'm going to say they did a great job on their end. Yeah.
In a game like this, for the margins on the bench, like the guys that come in at the end, Cam Woods played, Breon Pass, MJ Rice didn't. How do you kind of determine, like, at the end, who's going to get in, who's not in this matchup?
Just kind of the flow of it, and looking at practice and see who's playing well in those situations. I know Breon came in and gave us a little spark at the end of the first half and made a jump shot, and I just as well as Ben played against Wake Forest, I thought he was just okay today, and so we didn't get that kind of an uptick from our bench where we normally get. I thought Mo had his moments. I thought Michael was okay. I didn't think we got the great injection of energy and play off our bench that we got in the last few games.
Do you have any update on Jay Rice? Haven't played the last 2 games.
Nah, just coach's decision.
Thanks, Coach.